We made it to Dulles Airport, and we're in the KLM / Air France lounge. That's the tail of our plane. It's waiting for us. So what have you picked?
Well, I have chosen this delicious looking rice pudding. I have a turkey sandwich and some brie and blue cheese, a banana, and
Banana chips.
Banana chips. And a Sprite. We made it to Amsterdam. It's morning, April 1st, and we're at the Krasnopolski Hotel again, but this time it's very cold. And at 12, the program manager will join us for lunch in this room. And then we will go in different buses to our brand new river ship.
And I'm your captain on this tour of the River Splendor. And while I'm standing here, I kindly ask your attention for some safety briefing. I keep it short because there are a lot of briefings coming behind this.
And because I know you travel many hours to get over here, I will make very short briefing, approximately 3.5 hours, and after you'll be done.
Hello everybody, my name is Marike with a rolling R.
Marika. Marika.
This is going to be a good cruise. And I'm from the Netherlands and I am from the Yellow Group.
Hello everybody, my name is a little easier, I would think. In English, I think you can call me Lenny. That is easier for you than my Dutch name, which nobody ever knows how to spell it. So Lenny is fine. I am responsible for the Orange Group, and some of you know me already. Hi, welcome everybody, also those who joined this morning, and I'm from Amsterdam.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on board. My name is Louisa. Actually, my first name is Roosmarijn, but I'll spare you the Dutch name, so just call me Louisa or Louise. And I was born in Schiedam near Rotterdam, and yeah, I will be the leader of the Green Group.
Okay.
So one color remaining, blue group. I thought I only had ladies in my group. Blue group, okay, that's blue.
The rowdy group.
So this is zucchini with
Eggplant.
zucchini and eggplant and bruschetta or something like that.
Yes.
And we're enjoying green bean soup. Butterfish with white asparagus and rice and some other goopy stuff.
Salsa.
Salsa. Dutch salsa? Now I didn't order this, but maybe I should have. This is rice pudding. It really looks good. This is the dessert that the rest of us have ordered. Not as fancy as the rice pudding, but it looks good.
In the 17th century there was an engineer, his name was Jan Adriaansson Leegwater, empty water, who found out that you could reclaim land with the help of mills. And he was the first to do so. So he's in all the history books, unfortunately only in the Netherlands.
As we're enjoying our lunch, they're heaving to and getting ready to move out of Schoenhaven. And we'll be going to some other place whose name I can't remember.
Kitchen change. Mustard soup. Hot.
So what have you got here?
Delicious chilled cherry soup. Very refreshing with yogurt.
Traded in the mustard soup?
Yeah, the other was for me today was like it needed a main course to go with it. It was like a sauce.
Our main course has arrived.
The endive is very tender.
And the potato is really a mashed potato with some sort of crunchy green in it. Meatball's very good. And we're starting to move. And we're leaving Schoen oven. There's nice houses on the water. Well, this looks very interesting.
Yeah.
You brought sunny weather, it's chilly, sunny and a lot of wind, which we do need to have these windmills running normally. Otherwise we have to wait till a group of Belgian visitors comes along and we ask them to blow normally, but they don't show up daily, so we have to see. Well, actually, as your tour leader said, we have 19 windmills, but they don't always all run, because they are all inhabited, almost all, and we have voluntary millers living there, who have a normal day job. So we have teachers living here, factory workers, office people, and in their spare time they operate these windmills. So normally on a Monday morning, 9 o'clock, you won't see many running, and on Saturday afternoon you'll see almost everything running, so we never can tell. They just have to come up with 60,000 turns in a year, and then they get sort of a turning fee and allowance for their efforts, because the more you run it, in the better condition it remains. So that's why it's important. And they have a counter in the wing cross that counts the number of turns they all make.
I'm about to taste this vodka tonic and try it with an hors d'oeuvre, brie or salmon mousse.
This is the first captain's party we've been to, captain's welcome party we've been to, where they actually serve something other than cheap champagne.
That's true.
They have mixed drinks of any kind you want. They have wine,
for you.
blue curacao with champagne, and
Yeah,
good selection.
My name is José Spoor, born in the Netherlands, more than 30 years on the water, 28 years as a captain, without any accidents so far. Thank you. But of course, it's not only up to me. I have to tell you, I have a very good first navigation officer, which is Siegfried Schröder. At the moment, he's steering the ship, because many people ask me, who the hell is steering? Someone is up there, don't worry. And that's Siegfried Schröder, the former captain of the River Odyssey. Some of you may know him. You traveled with the Odyssey before. He's at the moment right up there. A big thanks to him and give him a big hand.
Well, we're about to have dinner at the captain's table with the captain.
The captain just seated me.
Oh, you see that? And you're going to be sitting next to the captain. How impressive.
I have to be good.
Better use your good manners.
I learned a lot of Miami. I had a scholarship to the University of Miami and auditioned in New York.
Sure it would.
I know, I'm sure they have one too.
This is our hot appetizer. I forgot to take a picture of our cold appetizer, which was a wonderful pate with a brioche. And there was also an amuse-bouche. And we have a palate cleanser here of orange sherbet and fruit. So tell us what this is.
This is a wonderful veal with asparagus, and I can't wait. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, I don't care.
Well, we're going to enjoy this wonderful creme brulee.
With Belgian waffle.
Oh, yes. Strawberries.
The River Splendor is docked in Rotterdam, and we've just had breakfast and we're waiting for our buses to take us to Delft. There are two tours this morning. We had our choice of either Gouda or Gouda. We're going to Delft to see the Delft factory and the town of Delft. So we opted to go to Delft.
Practically the Netherlands, you will notice it is a very small country. Almost 16.5 million people living here. And concentrated in this part of the Netherlands. So North Holland, South Holland. This is called the Randstad. So the Randstad is about the place where the economic heart of the Netherlands is. All the bigger cities are located here. Rotterdam, Amsterdam, Utrecht, Gouda, Delft. With all the universities and a lot of jobs. So most of the people of the Netherlands live in this side of the country. So it's very densely populated, and you will notice that by the cars and all the bikes and everything. Now, and actually people live in there. And there's one open. It's a sort of museum, so you can look how small it is from the inside and how you can walk. But it is straight from the inside, but it looks really typical. And it's the cubic houses, we call it. Now we are on our way to Delft, and Delft is a very small town, much smaller than Rotterdam, and it's between Rotterdam and Den Haag. Den Haag is written up there, and Den Haag is actually what you call The Hague. And The Hague is well known because our government is located in The Hague. It's not in our capital like many other countries, but it's in The Hague.
Is ready. Welcome to Royal Delft, the perfect place to find the authentic, world-renowned Delft Blue bathware. Here, you can learn all about our craftsmanship, history, and production process. Let's take a trip through time. Where will we go
Master
first?
painters paint the more complicated decorations, the large-scale scenes, and the commissions as well. You'll see our painter is using black paint, and the black paint consists of pigment cobalt oxide, which undergoes a chemical reaction in the oven and turns it from black into blue, the famous Delft blue you all know. Here you'll see a stencil. This is the stencil.
One sneeze. One roll.
royal baby rattle.
A royal baby rattle. Oh my.
In the year 1915, we started making Christmas plates.
Royal Delft cow.
Now, one of the things that put really Delft on the map in the Netherlands was the fact that the founding father of the Netherlands, Prince William of Orange, came and lived here. Maybe you've heard of the 80 years of war of the Netherlands, who were into war with Spain. Spain was actually, Philips II was ruling this country, the Netherlands, most of Austria, the Habsburg, everything. And he was owning that. And Philips II was a very strong religious Catholic person. And he really was against all the Protestancy that was going on in the north of Europe. And also here in the Netherlands. Well, our founding father, Prince William of Orange, he was actually born as a Lutheran in Germany. And his uncle, René de Chalon, he was French, of the Orange county he owned as well. He got Prince William of Orange the title Orange, and also the title of, he inherited everything, all his properties. As you can see, there is a ship coming on the right hand side, and that is the reason why we have to stop here. We will stop actually just behind the bridge, next to the church. The church will be on the right hand side, and that is where we're gonna get off.
It comes on and then it just goes. Wow. I think I can get that. Okay. Wow. I just didn't have it turned on.
Then you can.
Got it.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the main square of Delft. As you can see on the back, for your information, that is was built in 1385 till 1510. So it took them quite some time to finish this new church. We call this the new church because in a little while we're gonna see the old church, which is about 100 years older.
This is the Delft town square.
Oh yeah,
and town hall is right in front of us.
I'm gonna take you here.
This is where the famous Dutch painter Vermeer lived and worked, in this area.
And where they filmed a lot of the movies.
And a lot of the movie, The Girl with the Pearl Earring, was filmed here.
What is that? Buzz? What is it?
This is the fish market. The fish bunking.
I'd rather have an apple. Well, when I grew up, I had a cutlet royal every day.
We're right in the center of the town of Delft. This is the heart of Delft.
Now coming up on your left hand side, you can see there is this golden cupola that belongs to the Russian Orthodox Church.
I thought it's about a mile away.
Well, this is Hotel New York, ladies and gentlemen. From here, all the immigrants sailed to Ellis Island and then to the New World. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this morning. Well, you've seen a lot of Rotterdam. Unfortunately, the people that went to Gouda, they hit the direction the other way, so they haven't seen a lot from Rotterdam yet. But of course, they have still time this afternoon to explore Rotterdam. If you think, well, I want to go out, I can do that. And then there's Holland.
All right.
And we're starting off tonight's dinner with a shrimp cocktail.
Salad.
These shrimp are a lot bigger than they look. It's just a very, very large plate. They are jumbo shrimp. What do you have here?
Delicious red snapper.
What was it served with? Do you remember? I know it's got some spice to it.
Yeah, well, it also has a salsa, but that's not spicy. It's good.
Maybe it's the pepper that.
Yeah.
There's a special hospital there.
This is an apple crumb.
Yes, crumbled. With
Apple crumble.
With caramel.
With caramel and vanilla ice cream, I think.
Yes.
We've just returned from dinner, and this is a little tour of our suite. We have a refrigerator and mini bar that's stocked, and everything is complimentary, including wine and spirits, coffee maker, writing desk, nice sitting area, complimentary bottle of wine on the table, which we haven't opened yet. Large screen TV set on the wall in between the windows. King size bed. Chocolates on the pillows. And over there, a little desk or makeup area. 3 huge closets. And there's the door to the bathroom with the window that was installed today while we were out on a tour because the president of the company decided that there should be more light in the bathroom. So he had a window installed in the owner's suite. Here's the bathroom with a large glassed-in shower. Granite top sink. Toilets over there in the corner. And a very large, oversized jacuzzi tub with a shower head. Nice bathroom. And this is our owner's suite during the day. Wide expanse of windows. And of course these are sliding glass doors that open out to the French balcony, as they call it, just a railing. We have the nice seating area. Desk area. King-size bed.
The River Splendor is now docked in Belgium, and we are motoring to Bruges, where we will spend the bulk of the day, including eating at a local restaurant. So we have a map to help us out.
You finished?
I'm finished.
If it isn't enough that we're taking a riverboat cruise,
I know.
now we're taking a canal boat cruise,
And if you're not green, you may turn green.
and it's cold. Step gable is a typical Flemish style. Which one was that?
In Bruges. Very
Wow. We'll probably turn around.
I don't think so. Got it.
Yeah, to the side. Yeah, to the side.
We never see that many swans. You have to go to the zoo.
Okay.
No. Lake of Love, that's what it is.
Ready?
Oh, there you go then.
Well, I think this looks like a good place. Perhaps we'll have lunch in here.
Definitely. Let's order the mussels and the frites.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Well, we've stopped for lunch in Bruges, right in the center of town. And we're starting with nice local brewed beer. We're going to have some mussels and pommes frites.
Yes. Belgian fries.
And Belgian fries. Well, that's what the pommes frites.
And right now,
should be neat.
we have some olives.
And instead of bread, they serve olives.
Whatever works.
Charming little place. Remind you a little bit of the place we ate in, Bergen. Yeah. Our mussels have arrived. And that is a beautiful pot of mussels. And the Belgian fries. And the lens is getting steamed up from the mussels.
Yes.
We're right in the central square here. And they have a little amusement park set up, even though it's freezing out here. Here's the big clock tower.
So if we walk you into town and you come back, please do not panic. If you do not see the ship anymore, it depends on the tide, but it is possible because we have an 18 feet difference in tide. Yes?
Yeah.
So if you don't see the top of the ship anymore, the crew is very busy taking the gangplank up and down. So please do not panic. You will find the ship again. It will either be low or be very high. Yes? Now it's also the hometown of a very famous painter with these wonderful voluptuous women. And that's Mr. Peter Paul Rubens.
Well, for dinner tonight, we start off with a nice salad of, what is it, mozzarella?
Yes. Yeah, got the cheese.
And mozzarella cheese. Very nice.
Yeah, we know.
Look at the lovely chicken consomme with pancake strips. It is delicious. Please enjoy.
Thank you.
This is what I didn't order, but it looks awfully good. Tilapia.
The policy, Silas, was if you were
And pork
in
tenderloin.
anything,
Sure is. Thank you very much. We're docked in Antwerp. And although I hate to miss it, it's really cold out. And Pat and I are both getting over our little illness. So we decided to stay on the ship instead of taking the walking tour. Antwerp is a fairly large city and has a beautiful cathedral with Rubens paintings, which we hated to miss. But we're going to just tough it out. Temperature right now is in the high 30s. So it's pretty cold. We arrived in Antwerp at low tide, and the gangplank was set up on this level, the sun deck. Now the tide has been moving the ship up, and they moved the gangplank to the third level. And I suspect that by the time this afternoon is over and we're ready to leave, the gangplank will now be at the lower level, or the lobby level.
I'd like to introduce you our chocolate maker, Mr. Lievenbury, and his assistant Frederick. And they run a family business since 1962. And they only have one shop here in Antwerp. But they do a lot of on-site demonstrations, so that's a big part of their demonstration as well. And I must tell you, my nose is right above this chocolate, and it smells wonderful.
Don't drip
So
into it.
enjoy, and I hand over the microphone to Mr. Lieven.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, to the lounge. So first, I will show you. I will talk to you everything about chocolate. You can ask me questions, but only about chocolate, please. Only chocolate answers of questions. Sorry. So the best environment to grow the cocoa beans is around the equator. Yeah? They have a good soil of growing these cocoa trees. Cocoa plants is a very small tree. I got a cocoa fruit with me. This is a dried example. Inside there are 30 little, 40 little seeds. Those are the cocoa beans. This is the fruit. Yeah? The cocoa fruit grows against the stem of the tree. It's a small tree and growing under bigger trees, the banana trees. Yeah? So the best cocoa beans, they come from Ghana and Ivory Coast. They have the best quality cocoa beans. You also have South American beans or Asian beans. They are less in quality. So when the fruit is ready to pluck, they chop them open inside the fields, and inside there's a white pulp with pink beans. They're gonna put them under banana leaves, then there's a fermentation starting, so the cocoa beans change into color. I got some sun-dried cocoa beans with me. Don't eat them because it's not chocolate. They look like almonds. I know it's difficult to see in the back. Later you can come a little bit closer and you can touch them. That's the way how they come inside Belgium. Sun-dried cocoa beans in huge bags, not in container ships, because the cocoa beans have to breathe. Because there's a little bit humidity inside, they have to be really dried out. They have the same size like an almond. Also there's a little peel around. You can use the peel to put between your garden onto the plants. Cocoa shells. You can store like this. The more cocoa butter inside, the higher the quality is. The more quicker the chocolate will melt into your mouth. See? They're gonna take a percentage, in this case, percentage cocoa powder, 54%, and they're gonna start mixing this. And they're gonna make a chocolate dough. It's and they're gonna squeeze it down into the rollers to make it very fine. So the texture of this cocoa powder is very smooth at the end when the chocolate is finished. People also tell me, I put chocolate in my car and it became solid again and it turned out white at the end. What happened? It's just a separation of the cocoa butter. So the cocoa butter gets hard again and turns out white again. Because the cocoa butter is very lighter than the cocoa powder. It comes to the surface and turns white again. That's just a separate. It's not bad. You can eat it in 3 mixes into your mouth. Careful, huh? So here we can do a lot of shapes because you can buy molds there are shops with you can buy molds. But here we can do lots of different shapes and also we can choose our filling inside. Try to start it up. Now is Frederick decorating and writing. Also, you can.
We've decided it's time to try our complimentary bottle of wine and a little snacky with it.
Paprika potato chips.
This is an Icardi Barbara d'Asti.
Okay.
It's Italian, whatever that is. I mean, whatever it is, it's Italian. It's a real cork.
So all of that wine gizmo is plastic?
No, just the frame.
Oh, the frame is plastic.
The arms and the
metal.
screw are metal.
Okay.
I think they gave us a really cheap one just in case we might want to take it home. We don't want to lose a good one. I wouldn't take it home.
No.
Yeah. Got most of it out. Let's see what I can do without breaking the cork.
Ooh, that was a good sound.
Got it.
Yes. And
Pour the wine. Do you want to taste it or shall I?
no, you can taste it. Nice ring to the bottom of the glass. Okay. As if you can smell it.
Yeah, it smells like sparkly water.
That's scary. How's it taste? We'll stop that.
For a free bottle of wine, it's pretty good.
Okay. So it's not vinegar, it is wine.
It's not vinegar at all.
Is it a dry wine or what is it? Has some bubbles.
I guess it's dry. No, it just has bubbles because I'm pouring it.
Yes. Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Ah, good bouquet. Okay, I think it's kind of dry. It's good. Now I get to open the potato chips.
Tonight, after dinner, first of all, we announced Dutch evening. What it actually means is we're going to do a small Dutch lesson. You're going to have a treat, typical Dutch cookies. We will explain about the cookies as well. And then there is this movie about the Easterskeld Dam. Our port of call tomorrow is Arnhem, which is located in the eastern part of the Netherlands, not very far from the border with our eastern neighbors, Germany.
Robert, back. Okay, first of all, do a little dance.
Okay.
Absolutely.
They know. This is all. They know. Cousin, first cousin, and his parents came from Australia.
We're in the dining room, and as we sail down the river, we notice that the dike, which separates the water from the land and is protecting the land, behind the dike, the buildings are lower than the water level, as is the case in a lot of Holland.
There was a UN doctor and Soviets that come back.
Tonight is European night, so the waitstaff is all dressed up in different European costumes. Now there's something you don't see. A Filipino Scotsman farm of wind turbines.
I wanted to ask somebody, Belgium all flat like the Netherlands? Got some background somewhere? Well, you're not seeing it.
No, I know.
Go on forever.
That's pretty close to the hill.
And our first course is a salad of some sort.
Including feta cheese.
Yeah, I see the feta. I see the olives.
So it must be a little...
So it looks like a plate of salsa, doesn't it?
I think it's a kind of Greek salad. Get to where they're going.
Like some pepper?
Sure, as long as you're here. Thank you.
Stop, walk around, rest.
This is a crispy duck leg with mashed potatoes. And
I think you have an
red
orange
cabbage.
sauce.
And you're having fish.
Sea bass.
That's right.
Yes, I am. Sea bass.
That looks good. And that's on...
It's on top of a vegetable paella.
That's right.
Yes.
Right. William Alexander, who is married to a lovely Argentinian lady, Maxima, and they are going to be our new queen and king. So that's going to happen on the 30th of April coming up, and the whole Amsterdam will be orange again. A lot of festivities and a lot of parties will be going on, and a very special event. Oranje is the Dutch word for orange, from Oranje Nassau. And he inherited from his cousin, he inherited a very small principality in the south of France. And in the south of France there is the city Orange.
Goedemiddag. Yeah, you're not saying something wrong here, you're just being nice and you say goedemiddag is good afternoon, goedemiddag. And then good evening is goede avond.
It's the gargling language.
Keep on practicing with them. If you say alsjeblieft, then you say please. Say alsjeblieft. And if you say to someone of your own age or to a child, you don't use the formal form, then you can say alsjeblieft. As you look on your paper, you say the first part is spelled with a U, that is the formal word to address someone, and the je, G-E, that is if you speak just regular.
Yeah, it's a throat disease, as they sometimes call the language. By the way, did you notice that a few of the vowels were printed in bold?
Yes.
Like the second one, please, alsjeblieft, and / alsjeblieft, formal, informal. So I suppose you don't know anybody in the Netherlands. In that case, you would always use the formal way of addressing.
Okay.
It's Saturday. We're docked in the town of Arnhem. We have chosen to go to the Kroller Muller Museum. They have the largest collection of Van Goghs outside of the Van Gogh Museum.
Around the courtyard you can find the paintings of Vincent van Gogh. This is a famous painting, Potato Eaters. Vincent van Gogh made 3 paintings of the potato of the poor people in the field of rich people. Vincent van Gogh was interested in the side of the car in Paris. Balance, it is a fast composition. This is the building. And there you see one movement. You see a woman in the way you saw also up there.
Mrs. Kroller Muller owned a company, and they made many things, including ships. Kroller worked for her, and eventually they married.
This is the museum sculpture garden. This is called the Overturned Tomb by Wang Yang Ping.
Where you can have lunch, where you can have dinner, to orientate a little bit, and very important, where you can change money. Because if you go to a regular ATM machine, you get Scottish pounds. And Scottish pounds can only be spent in Scotland. And you cannot change them back towards dollars or euros. Okay. Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Start of Holland.
Yeah, I mean, this was a monster. A juice or whatever.
Oh, we're sitting in the lounge. There'll be a port talk in about a half hour. But in the meantime, we've ordered a drink and listening to the pianist bang away on the ivories, or on the plastics probably. In the meantime, we're passing some very lovely scenery with horses on the shore.
And cows. Here, hoping he'd play better. Look at this cute little...
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Robin, for playing nice music for Jack. And how did you enjoy this typical Dutch Saturday? Yeah, did you enjoy the museum? Oh, yes. And did you have a ball? So that is a typical Dutch ball, and sometimes if you go into a pub, you will have some unidentified fried objects with it. And never ask what's inside, just taste it, like the bitterballs or the kaas soufflés, just have some and have a lot to drink with it and you will love it.
Well, this is our appetizer.
Yes.
And it's a roll with salmon and other stuff.
Yes, it is.
So you're right, we could, but we haven't. We should.
This is sirloin with a baked potato and vegetables. This is the first good view of the ship I've had. We can actually see the whole thing. We're sailing on what used to be the Zuider Zee, which was in the beginning of the 20th century dammed to keep the seawater out, and it is now a freshwater lake. And we're going to the Zuider Zee Museum, an outdoor museum of old Netherlands, and we're about to dock. These are lime kilns.
Outside the gate, so there was no protection against the... Yes, there was nothing between the houses and the water. Oh, okay. The people who lived here in those houses, they didn't have to pay so much rent. It was in 1917 only 75 cents.
This is flounder drying.
Oh, there's she. Ik moest oud zijn. Je moest... Ja.
Oh.
Is het goed zo? Ja. Ja?
Ja.
Hartstikke goed. Eerste dag vandaag. Ja, voor mij ook. Ja? Gisteren oma.
Camera. My camera's dying. Put it again.
Down here somewhere. She's already around the corner. Oh, no. Is she? Oh, I thought
Smoking fish, those are herring. You can see the thatched roof.
I know that West Friesland, there are a lot of ditches, and the farmers they went to the land with barges like this.
This is the apothecary, de grote gaper, and that means open mouth.
Yeah, when I translate gapen, gapen means to yawn, but it has nothing to do.
Gaper means to yawn, but they always have the head with the mouth open to take the medicine. This is an old schoolhouse. This is one of two classrooms. This is the first building here at the museum, the church.
Well, the closest thing around it. Get away from her. Get away.
You'd be good with a nice little orange sauce.
Which one would be best, sweetie?
in Hoorn, and we're going to be going to dinner.
No, it's not.
A community-hosted dinner in a church. Oh, we're in a cathedral or a church in Hoorn, and we're going to be hosted by the community to dinner. There's a community host at each table. Ours is Balkja.
Oh, about a CVC, about 4
And
CVC.
the community, members of the community have actually prepared the meal.
The batteries. That keeps the battery charged. It's really neat.
And ask you local what that is in the English language. I think you have to taste it and then you know what it is. That's one. And then Dutch dessert, Friesmeelpudding, Dutch Friesmeelpudding with sauce. Wethel, or Schimmelbutter. You can buy them with lots. For now, you stay here for the dinner. We have a presentation of the Holland cheese carriers and the Dutch cheese girls later on. And then
cheese company.
We're having some samples of cheese in between our soup course and the next course. We're being served what I think is our main course.
Yes.
And it looks like a stew of some sort.
Dutch.
And lots of potatoes, and it's absolutely beautiful.
We're in the lounge for the Captain's Farewell Cocktail Party. From here, we will go to the Captain's Farewell Dinner. We're having it tonight, even though it's not our last night in Amsterdam, because tomorrow night everyone will be packing.
They had that chicken with, yeah, of course. Oh, that was really good,
Sorry, what would you like, red wine or white wine?
Red wine.
Okay, red wine. How about you, sir?
Red wine,
I've forgotten what the amuse-bouche is, but it looks fine. And of course we have our choice of red or white wine. Vintage about 2 weeks ago, but it's included in the meal, so it's all right.
It's an Arabic guy. And he's going for 2 hours. And one of the questions was big loan for navigation.
This is lobster tail.
And so half a lobster tail.
Well, be
Looks good
technical.
to me.
This is our second appetizer.
But it was never built for my thing. It doesn't have a foundation. But they did, of course, they put it through the ground. They filled it up with debris.
We'll see.
Yellow one, purple. Well, as cold as it's been, we don't see very many things blooming
We do see some crocuses up on the hill though. Well, the cherry blossoms in Washington are in full bloom right now, and the temperature is around 80. Here the temperature is about 50, and they're just barely blooming. There's our hotel across the street. View of our hotel from the other end. This is Holyrood Palace, which is where the Queen comes to stay when she's in Edinburgh.
Anybody can design a tartan and have it with, yeah. The idea of tartans, clan tartans. You're here? Okay, and down. here? Okay, and down. Here? Okay, and down. Here? Okay, and down. Here? Okay, and down.
Art galleries if there's a special exhibition. So for the normal collection you don't pay at all. And I love the National Gallery because I like the Impressionists. And another area that's really good is at the very back of the building in a sort of modern bit that's down the stairs, which is a bit tricky to find, but if you ask for it, they have the Scottish section, and there they have the paintings by Scottish painters. I had, I think, 60 French students yesterday. I think it was a bit chilly for a picnic, but hopefully they enjoyed the sandwiches. Good steps, but no ferry today. We're using
This is the Firth of Forth Railroad Bridge.
So we'll pull in just here. The pub on your left-hand side is interesting. It's the haulage. The train bravely carried on and the passengers got to the other side safely. The Germans didn't have many direct hits, but what they did was they were clever. They took photographs afterwards of this area, and as you can see there are a few islands in the Firth of Forth. So they took the picture and then they reversed it so that the islands actually looked like holes, like craters, and they said, look, we had a direct hit, look at all these craters. Clever. That's cheating, isn't it? It's very side. And that's ideal because people can choose an excursion. They can maybe go into Edinburgh for the day, or if they want they can head off to St Andrews just as we are doing. But here in Scotland we can rival you as well. There's one region, Perthshire, which is about an hour from here, which is very beautiful with lots of natural forests.
This is the beach at St Andrews, and Chariots of Fire was parts of it.
So on your right hand side, just near
here.
the Cosmos bus, is the Royal and Ancient Golf Club, and a little bit of information about golf. The barren land sweeping around St Andrews Bay was totally inadequate for cultivation or grazing, and it only provided turf sods which were used to roof the houses of the poor people. However, this area made an ideal golf course, and it's hardly changed over the years. Okay, if you change your mind later on, we can always come back here this afternoon.
And there's probably a restroom elsewhere too, maybe.
The earliest reference to golf in Scotland was 1457, when the King James II of Scotland outlawed the playing of golf and football so that men could concentrate on archery instead. In 1834, the Society secured the patronage of William IV. He changed its name to the Royal and Ancient in a document which also declared that St Andrews was indeed the alma mater of golf. So looking over at the tower, there's a little archway just at the entrance, and there are the initials PH in the stonework, and PH is of a Scottish reformer who was martyred here. His name was Patrick Hamilton, and his initials are there in the stonework. Since Salvator's now, really only the church survives, and it's used by the students of St Andrews University, and on a Sunday morning they have a tradition that they go to church and then go for a walk, and they're wearing their cloaks, and they must be very unique because their cloaks are bright scarlet. Now most other universities they have black cloaks, but there's a reason why their cloaks are scarlet. It's because in the olden days they had a problem. The gentlemen would go and visit prostitutes, and the dean of the university wanted to make sure that he knew what they were up to, so he made sure that they wore bright scarlet so that he could observe them. Only snag for students is that accommodation generally is more expensive here than in other towns. It's quite a wealthy area, and you pay a little bit more in rent.
Yeah. Good thing we can understand seagull. Yeah. Did you get it? Yeah. There's another one. Now they're stopped.
Just to give you a little bit of background, the gentleman who started the Reformation was a gentleman called John Knox. And John Knox had in fact been a Catholic priest in Haddington, not very far from Edinburgh.
Immersed in water is this Kroller
all the better done. If you do want to go down there, please be careful because as you can imagine, these are old stones and they're not always even. So please don't stumble and fall. You do so at your own risk, obviously. Feel free to spend 5 minutes here taking photos. You can pause and watch the seagulls flying over the horizon. And then when everybody's ready, we'll make our way back into the main exhibition and put the River Splendor. Canals, there would have been buildings of this colour, possibly also in sort of slug green, a dirty green, and also in pink. Some of the castles up there are done in painted pink. And of course, it wasn't just to be decorative, it was also a bit to know against the bad weather, because this particular Scotland. Do you know what time it is? Number? Stinger? Yeah, So if you're just in front of me, then I can start to tell you a little bit about what you can see here. So I had started with the story of it explained that after the Reformation.
As Santander makes his way to the town church here, he's followed by the shields, the symbols of the university. This year, over 20 shields have been redone, and I'm sure you'll agree look absolutely magnificent and add to the whole theatre of the procession. The divine passes are followed by a section called the early church, and to St. Regulus. It is stated he brought the remnants of St. Andrew from Patron. It's not a funeral march, gentlemen, you are allowed to walk slightly faster. He completed the building of the cathedral and officiated at its consecration in 1318. He's led by his crossbearer. Bruce was present at the consecration of St. Andrew's Cathedral when he rode his horse up the main aisle, claiming that he was more powerful than the church itself. He was consecrated Bishop of St. Andrews in 1404, responsible for burning the first heretic, and to be martyred in Scotland in Market Street in 1433. The privilege of conferring recognised degrees could only be granted by the Pope or the Emperor.
Papa auténtico. De Roma es un impostor.
Roger Henry Ogilvy, Master of Arts of the University of Paris and the priest of the Diocese of St. Andrews, presented the papal bulls in 1414. And to the founders of St. Leonard's College and Archbishop Alexander Stewart. Graduated in 1508, his fluent style gave him the position of Poet Laureate at the Scottish Court. He was burned before the gates of St. Salvator's, his initials on the cobbles marked the spot. Cardinal Beaton watched his hanging and incineration from the window of the castle on the 1st of March 1546. He's attended by a friar from the Franciscan house. And to Cardinal David Beaton, when Wishart was tried and martyred, Beaton was at the height of his powers. And John Knox, the most powerful architect of the Reformation, under the name of Crown and Courtiers. And Mary, Queen of Scots, constantly returned to St. Andrews. James succeeded Mary to the throne in 1657 when 1 year old. And to King Charles II, who wandered from one European court to the next, following a disastrous alliance with the Covenanters. And John Napier of Belgium. Another St. Andrews student, Regent of St. Salvator, was one of the Presbyterian leaders who opposed the introduction of the English prayer book. Samuel Rutherford, the Covenanters fully repaid his cruel persecution of them when led by David Dickerson to 62, when Austria-Hungary became one of 64 incarcerated poets who wanted the freedom of the city. Mr. Elizabeth Garrett Anderson, who matriculated at St. Andrews in 1862, the presiding at 1926, she were the principal Scotland parish classes. To Amy Patterson, founder of the Bias Theatre and as chairman for over 50 years, received an OBE in 1958 and an honorary degree. He was accompanied by his dog and again the magnificent new college shields. Kate herself is played by a Beechit as a first-year Bill, who has recently joined the Kate Kennedy Club. Each year 9 Belgians are asked to join and the other 8 are her shield bearers.
We're at the waterfront right on the North Sea in the town of Inster.
Not far from St. Andrews.
And we're not far from St. Andrews at all.
Yeah.
And this is in the county of Fife.
Yes.
So it's our last night here in Edinburgh. We'll be going home tomorrow. And this is our farewell dinner, hosted by our lovely program manager, Marika. And this is the group that traveled all the way from the U.S. to Holland and then Edinburgh.
Oh, it's leek.
This is potato and leek soup.
Potato and leek soup.
The first course. And this is beef shin with vegetables and parsley potatoes. And now we have dessert.
Raspberry mousse with slivered almonds and berries.
Raspberry mousse.
Yes.
We're in the business class lounge at the Edinburgh airport, waiting for our flight to Paris, and then ultimately for our flight home. Edinburgh airport is a smaller airport which has flights to all over Europe, but nothing farther than that. I think about the farthest is Istanbul. The lounge is basic but very nice. We're making our descent into Charles de Gaulle, Paris. For a change, we can see some good weather down below.
The second leg of our journey home on Air France from Paris to Dulles. We had a shorter time between flights than we thought, but it was okay. And of course, being on Air France, they are treating us very well. So I started with a glass of white wine, and Bob had Glenlivet, and then we both changed to Perrier. But Bob decided to also have a strong Burgundy with his dinner selection, which was the beef fillet. I chose the scallops. We had a lovely appetizer of little tiny shrimp with the chili sauce. And then we had an amuse-bouche, which had a pâté terrine and also a scallop recipe of some sort.
I don't know.
For dessert, we both chose sorbet, very refreshing. I got the key lime sorbet, and Bob had the red fruit. A lot of people are starting to snuggle in now to sleep, but we might watch a movie. They have some good selections.